What is going on, fight fans and full-time family? I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. I'll give you the bad news first, right? So we can get cheered up with the good news. The bad news is that UFC has canceled the media day in Brasilia following the government's coronavirus decree. The coronavirus has jeopardized UFC Brasilia this weekend. A main event, of course, between Kevin Lee and Charles Oliveira. This coronavirus has been, over the last 24 to 48 hours, really been sprouting, and just the numbers have been doubling almost in Brazil. I believe they were originally at 24 cases and no one was really concerned, but over the last 24 to 48 hours, that number has doubled. They got up to 56, they got up to 48 first, then 56, two of those actually being in Brasilia. And so the government has been forced to cancel any event that has a gathering of over 100 or more people. Well, of course, that fits into the UFC, as they were going to be fighting in a 16,000 seat stadium. So imagine the coronavirus outbreak hitting and you're still having thousands of people gather in one area. Doesn't seem very smart. So how the UFC has worked with the Brazilian government to keep this fight card intact. They've canceled their media day, so not more than 100 people will be gathering there. And whenever we have the fights this weekend, here's the good news: the fights are still going to be going on. UFC Fight Night 170 in Brasilia will be held without a crowd. Those 16,000 seats will be empty. Nobody but the fighters, the UFC's promotion team, and maybe the fighters' teams. And if you're a Brazilian fighter, maybe some of your closest family members, but you're not going to be able to have over 100 people in this 16,000 seat arena. And so this is going to be the first sporting event we've seen held without a crowd. It's going to be interesting to watch. I'm not going to have that crowd reaction. I wonder how that affects the judges. A lot of the judges could be swayed by the crowd when they hear the "oh" or the boos or whatever. You're not going to hear that. If you're a fighter, does this make you a little more willing to fight a boring fight? You don't gotta worry about the boos? No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully not. But this is the first time we've seen this. I mean, I don't know how many of you are aware. I'm sure a lot of you are, but some of you don't follow the NBA at all, so you wouldn't know. But the NBA actually last night postponed their entire season due to a coronavirus outbreak. Two of the players actually on the Utah Jazz have been tested positive for the coronavirus. So they canceled 2 games last night, and then they're postponing the rest of the season until they figure out what they're going to do, which could involve coming back and playing without crowds. You got the NCAA college basketball tournament, March Madness, going on, coming up. That's one of the biggest tournaments. They're going to have to figure out how they're going to deal with this coronavirus outbreak. They might be playing crowdless games, but the UFC is the first to do it. They're going to be fighting this weekend, Saturday, in UFC Brasilia, Fight Night 170, without a crowd. That is interesting. With that being said, man, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out.